look like.
Hey, I'm kin to them. You know, so.
Look like folks in my family.
Yeah. Like,
They have another group coming in, so let's just walk over here. We got a lot more space over here anyway.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So again, as we were saying, the book's in stone and the beckonet. And what the Greeks did, the Ptolemies, they took on names. And these names that they took on, like Ptolemy the 12th, that we see on the beckonet right here, Cleopatra's father, in fact, called himself the Neo Dionysus. And this could be also Ptolemy the 13th, maybe her brother. He called himself the Neo Dionysus. What is the Neo Dionysus? The new Osiris. So they were deifying themselves even to the point where they identified themselves as the Neteru of salvation and resurrection, and that is Asar himself, by calling himself the Neo Dionysus. But as this new world religion, a Western version of Christianity, comes in, we see that erasing many of the spiritual ideas of ancient Kemet. We see it in the church, a set right here. Look at the cross that's now put right in the middle of her face.
Wow.
Okay. Wow. Look at the chiseling out of a set that we see right here. Now the question is, why did they not chisel out the sun? Now chiseled her out. Here's the Holy Mother Aset, and they were copying and creating the Mary from the Kemetic word Murray. But why not the sun? Why wasn't that chiseled out? Because that is Ra, and they go to church on Sunday and have sunrise service because they're deifying Ra, the sun. So they did not chisel out the sun because that becomes the holy day. The people still to this day go to church on Sunday, and that steeple of the church is the Tekenu that you have seen. It represents resurrection. And that's why you go to church and they have sunrise service. The symbols and the architecture even tell the story. Once we know the architecture, also we can see the story is even told then. Prior to the Greeks, prior to the Western church, the Greeks had their temples before it went into a sharp steeple. You know the steeple of the church? Before it went into a sharp steeple, the Greeks literally, okay, because again, they were taking this thing literally. They literally carved the penis for the steeple. I have pictures of it. They literally carved it, before it went into the steeple. Because they were still looking at a physical resurrection. Even by looking at the anatomy of the body and not understanding the Asar and his Setsu, symbolizing, again, a message that they were conveying of resurrection, not the literal penis itself, that they actually put in front of the early Greek temples. Okay, so again, we come back here to unlock all these spiritual stories that go back millenniums that were plagiarized, and we're turning back the pages of time, and we're in the book now. And this is the book that reveals the truth that we see, and as you have seen as we've traveled throughout our journey here. When you go back now, you're going to see many things now that you saw before. Don't wave at it. He's coming to greet you. He just come and say, hey, y'all, Kemet New, how y'all doing? See? He only flies around us. All right. Remember the innate intelligence of nature. All right. So again, and I don't like the Beth. Fly. Okay. So again, before we go in, Abdul may want to give us some other details.
Okay. Now you could see the on the each side of the door at the bottom. can you recognize what you see on each side of the door? These are the sacred bark of Aset and of Hetheru on each side. Because Hetheru is also in this temple with Aset, because Hetheru was the surrogate mother of Haru. When Aset was searching up and down the country and she was really busy, it was Hetheru who was lactating the baby and taking care of him. That's why the name Hetheru means the home of Haru, the house of Haru. Hetheru. Hetheru means the house of Haru. So this will take us inside the Mamizi, and we're gonna see some very special images inside the Mamizi of Aset and of Hetheru and of the child in the marshes and the swamps of the papyrus in the delta. But as a matter of fact, we cannot all of us fit into the Mamizi. So half of the group or one bus, right? Can you take one bus?
Yes, sorry.
So the Asar bus, you will go with Brother Kwezi. The two other buses will come with me to the court of this temple, and we will lecture on the court, waiting for Asar bus to finish, to be done, and then Aset will go, and then when Aset is here, Haru will go to, and like that we are done with the whole group, seeing the Mamizi and seeing the special images of Aset there. So Asar bus, now you go with Brother Kwesi, Aset and Haru come with me.
That is such an